June and round 2 in the sophomore series between Rollin' On Over and Monsieur Champlain took place at River Downs in the $26,959 Cincinnatian Stakes. It appeared that Rollin' On Over had avenged his Shaker Heights handicap loss. However, it wasn't to be. He hit the wire first, but a claim of foul and a steward's inquiry made Monsieur Champlain 2 for 2 against Rollin' On Over.
Turn for home, and Rollin' On Over is the leader by a length. Monsieur Champlain on the inside is running second, and then on the outside, Sweet Valentine is coming on in third. A furlong to the finish, and the leader is Rollin' On Over by a length. Monsieur Champlain on the outside. Those two have hooked up in a stretch duel with Sweet Valentine in third. That's Rollin' On Over, Monsieur Champlain second. Rollin' On Over's in front.
Disqualification lightning struck again at River Downs a week later in the $27,250 Myrtlewood Handicap. More Haste got to the line and nose before the rallying Albon's Gold, but she couldn't withstand claims of foul by 3 riders for interference at the gate. Thus, Albon's Gold got the biggest paycheck.
That's More Haste with a head in front. Edna Stream on the outside. Albon's Gold on the inside. More Haste has a short lead. Albon's Gold on the inside. Can't split them.
Back at River Downs on the 18th, and there were no fouls or disqualifications, just the beautiful stride of a newcomer. Ta-da, a daughter of Brent's Prince, began her career in the most impressive of styles, winning the $27,280 Ohioan Stakes, and by 11 lengths.
They have a furlong to the finish, and Ta-da is led all the way, still has the lead by 5. One more hope between horses. Highlandsdale on the outside, Franklin County. Ta-da is the leader. Highlandsdale is running second. Tall Meadows closing for the show spot. They near the wire. Ta-da's in front.
Thistledown had the last stake of the month, the $27,150 Annie Oakley Handicap for sophomore fillies. Lay Pay, Ohio's champion 2-year-old filly, shipped down from Canada for the engagement. She faded in the drive for the wire that carried Rapid Rhonda into the winner's circle.
Here they come in mid-stretch. Rapid Rhonda has 3 lengths. Rapid Rhonda will not be denied. Rapid Rhonda now showing the way.
Jumping July, the busiest month on the Ohio Fun Stakes calendar. A total of 9 added money events went to the post. When the dust settled, Rollin' On Over had won 3 of them. His first was a hard-earned one in Thistledown's $54,250 Cleveland Gold Cup. Rollin' On Over got one back on Monsieur Champlain, but a fast-closing Stanley L proved his toughest foe.
Approaching the 16th hole, it's Rollin' On Over and Drummer Hoff. Rollin' On Over, Drummer Hoff. Rollin' On Over, Drummer Hoff, and Stanley L closing in.
Freedom Ride may have forfeited a score in Beulah's Premonetta, but there was no denying her in the $26,890 Ohioette Stakes at River Downs. She got the top prize with a late lunge.
Lovers in front with Freedom Ride within striking distance second. Wood Type third. I'm a Gypsy Girl on the far outside is gaining ground. A furlong to the finish, and Freedom Ride on the outside of Snow Lover. Those two are stride for stride. I'm a Gypsy Girl now running third. That is Freedom Ride with a head in front of Snow Lover. I'm a Gypsy Girl. That's Freedom Ride. Snow Lover battling to the wire. Freedom Ride in front.
There was supposed to be 4th of July fireworks the next afternoon in River Downs' $26,000 Rainbow Handicap. Instead, it was just Mighty J. He exploded, romping by 7 lengths over 1982 handicap champ Bill Monroe.
Mighty J finds running room along the rail. That is Bill Monroe, Bold Bugler. Mighty J exterminate on the outside, and down the stretch they come. Mighty J sprints to the lead. Bill Monroe's in second. Exterminate on the outside running third. They're into the final 16th, and that is Mighty J just pulling away from Bill Monroe. Mighty J in front.
A week later and back on the river, it was time to catch the second act of the Ta-Da Show. Heavily favored in the $26,500 Ohio Mistakes, the moderate brown daughter of Brent's Prince romped once again.
That is Tada running easily in front by 4 lengths. At the rail, Flaming Agnes second, Identity Crisis is third. They near the finish. Tada's all alone.
Next up, Rolling On Over's turf debut in the $26,740 Southern Ohio Stakes. Like his sire Brent's Prince, he took a liking to grass racing and went off by 7 lengths, missing the 1:36 3/5 track record for a mile by just 3/5 of a second.
An eighth of a mile to go, and Rolling On Over pulls away by 5. Iron Way closing ground at the hedge. Whispering Whale now running third. That's Rolling On Over all alone.
The next afternoon at Thistledown, Albon's Gold proved her victory via disqualification in Riverdowns' Myrtlewood was no fluke. She was an easy winner in the $38,050 Ohio Debutante Stakes.
Albon's Gold widening on this field. Hit the 16th pole. Albon's Gold with 4 lengths. Albon's Gold shows the way. Albon's Gold.
The month couldn't end without Tada and Rolling On Over striking once again. Tada was first, humbling 6 foes in Riverdowns' $26,590 Hoover Stakes. It was her 3rd victory in 3 career starts, all in Stakes company.
With an eighth of a mile to go, Tada hands the lead by 5, and then Tall Meadows with Flaming Agnes in third. They near the finish. Tada's in front and all alone.
Rolling On Over's performance the next afternoon in Thistledown's $26,125 Quick Step Handicap was just as impressive. Not only did he draw off by 5 lengths, he did it against older horses, registering his first added money victory in the Buckeye Handicap division.
Rolling On Over opens up 3 lengths on Bill Monroe. With a furlong left to go, that's still Rolling On Over with lots of daylight now, with what appears to be an insurmountable lead on Bill Monroe. It's Rolling On Over. Rolling On Over is in full command.
Finally, the richest race for 3-year-old Ohio fillies, Riverdowns' $54,500 Queen City Oaks. It capped July's busy schedule. And Sweet Valentine, who had been winless in 6 previous 1983 outings, picked the perfect spot for her initial victory.
They have a furlong to the finish, and Sweet Valentine is the leader. Iron Skillet is running second. Rapid Rhonda closing ground center of the track. Snow Lover is a 4th. They have a 16th to go. Sweet Valentine's in front. Iron Skillet on the outside is coming on. Sweet Valentine with Iron Skillet. Sweet Valentine's in front.
Hot August, a month for the state's fillies and mares to strut their stuff. And they did, winning 5 of the 6 stakes and handicaps offered. The first victory was somewhat of an unexpected one. Thistledown's $26,250 Buckeye Handicap has been a race dominated by colts and geldings. Bill Monroe won 1982's renewal and was favored to win 83's, except nobody told that to a 4-year-old filly named Rightin' Mama.
Bill Monroe has the lead, and Rightin' Mama on the left-hander whipping is driving, coming on. Bill Monroe, Rightin' Mama, these two will fight it out now. Bill Monroe and Rightin' Mama colors Bill Monroe. Rightin' Mama, Bill Monroe to the wire.
When the $25,000 valedictorian handicap failed to fill at Thistledown on June 12th, it wasn't discarded. Instead, track officials rescheduled it for fillies and mares on August 13th. That pleased the connections of Freedom Ride. The 3-year-old lass said adios to 6 foes, and she did it early on.
Through the stretch, it's still Freedom Ride by 3 on Star Grand, not gaining on the leader. In deep stretch, it's Freedom Ride showing the way.
One of the year's most exciting races took place the same afternoon at Riverdowns in the $26,320 River Queen Handicap. It found More Haste prevailing in a 3-horse photo over 53rd and Win and EJ's Pride.
They have a furlong to the finish, and More Haste on the inside, 53rd and Win on the outside. EJ's Pride in between those 3, stride for stride with a 16th to go. More Haste has a short lead, 53rd and Win on the outside. More Haste, 53rd and Win, heads apart.